Hey guys, it is me again. Today's Sunday, March the 18th. Makes it day 78 on our Daily Bread Project 2012. Guys, I hope this video makes it to you. I told you guys about the troubles last night. I made my one little vid, because the funny thing was, if I uploaded from that computer on Internet Explorer, or I don't know. Anyway, when you try to upload it from that computer, it still wouldn't open up the upload video page on YouTube like it's supposed to. So you would think you weren't uploading anything, but then it would go ahead and upload it. So I put this computer, which has got the webcam, that I use on it, and I took it to Internet Explorer and tried to upload it, and same deal, it didn't show like it was uploading, but then I could go to my videos and look, and it showed a video trying to be uploaded. So anyway, guys, I finally, let it sit for like 30 minutes or whatever it takes to upload the video, and all of a sudden there it was. So, I thought I had a problem, but then I watched Velvet Hamlet's video last night, and I'm glad I watched it, because at the end of it, he said, oh yeah, he said, have any of you other guys had any problems? He said, I tried to upload a video last night to YouTube, and I hit the upload button and tried to open the video up, and it wouldn't, described down to the T, the same thing mine was doing. So, and then he said, so I just left it alone, thought it wasn't uploading. He said, the next thing I know, I had comments on the video. So he said it uploaded, but it didn't show to be uploading. And that's the same thing mine did. So I'm assuming it's just a YouTube glitch. Something wrong with YouTube. I don't know why YouTube keeps changing. I tell you, that's what somebody was talking today about the layouts on YouTube. They've changed all the pages. Used to you could customize your page and all that, and now it's just, I don't know. I don't know why they keep messing with it. They've destroyed it, I think. But anyway, what I'm trying to say, guys, I pray that YouTube has fixed that, or if not, at least I hope I can get this video uploaded to you. But anyway, it is good to be here, as always, guys. I know I'm a little late tonight. Guys, I've been painting. As I told you guys the other night, or at least I think I did, that the brother is needing this car as quick as I can get it done, because his other car, the transmission went out, and he's having to drive its Durango and to work. And, those don't get very good gas mileage, and he's got to drive about 45 minutes each way. I told him I'd try to have it by Tuesday. No, wait. Yeah, I told him I'd paint it, try to have it painted by tomorrow. But I got to thinking about it, even yet, if I do paint it tomorrow night, I've still got to wait and let everything dry. I've got to put everything back together, unmask it. So, he's going to be, to be honest, the soonest Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. I should have told him that today, I guess, at church, and I forgot to. But anyway, guys, I knew I had to paint the wing separately because I couldn't paint it on the car. I guess I could have, but I had to mask everything off. So, anyway, I backed the car out and put the wing or the spoiler on sawhorses and painted it this evening. That's what I've been painting. So, turned out pretty good. I'm going to have to get you guys a short little bit of it. Of course, it had a few, as Velvet Hammer calls them, dust turds in it. It had a few little dust turds, as you can't help from having. And when you do body work and paint in the same place, but it turned out good. That green, it is a real transparent color. See, when I sealed it, I only sealed the top of it, the part that I 2K primed, which is white. Well, the underside was mostly green, but it had a few red spots in it, where I'd sanded down to the red. Well, if I'd have realized that, how hard that was going to be to cover, I would have sealed all of it, and I didn't. And that red, some of those red spots took like, well, I think I ended up having to put 4 or 5 coats of base on it to get those red spots to cover. So, yeah, so that was a little bit challenging, but I sprayed the Acme Clear. It's Sherwin-Williams Clear is what it is. That's one of their brands. Sprayed it out. Did good. Flowed out good. It's an overall clear instead of a spot clear. So it's taking a little longer to dry. That's something else I kind of messed up on. I had it on my sawhorses. Well, I walked outside because I backed the car outside, and I noticed the dew was falling, so it was trying to get my 2K primer and everything on the car a little wet. And I'm sure probably it wouldn't have hurt nothing to let the car sit out all night. You know, one night I don't think would have killed it, but I got impatient wanting to get the car back in. So I stuck my hands under the spoiler, you know, and you could feel the clear. This was probably an hour after I sprayed it. And, you know, it was fairly dry, but it was one of those deals. It was dry as long as you touched it real quick. But when you let your hand stay in it, you know, it. So anyway, I picked it up by the underneath where you couldn't see it, where it bolts to the car, and moved it off the sawhorses over to the deep freeze. And when I went to lay it down, the stupid thing rocked back on me like it tried to fall. And I put 2 little fingerprints in it, and then it come up against my arm. So it put a couple little places in it. But it's the underside of the spoiler. You know, there's only about that much room between the car and the spoiler. You're not going to be able to see it. Plus, you know, worst case scenario, I'm pretty sure it'll buff out. You know, I'll just hit it with some 2000 grit and buff it. So, I don't know if I'm going to have time to buff the wing and everything else I do. So I still got to paint the car, guys. I still got to paint the roof and the hood. I'm gonna try to, if we're not horribly busy tomorrow, come up here, find some time to do some masking tomorrow during the day, get it masked off, or at least get it started masked off. That way when we get home, Dad can help me maybe finish masking it, and I can get it painted, the rest of it painted tomorrow night. So, but anyway, guys, it's turned out good. I mean, that wing, it's as slick as glass. The clear flowed out good. I guess maybe where it's an overall clear, and the MS-30 is a spot clear, it actually seemed to flow out a little better than the MS-30, and I'm guessing that's because it dries slower. You know, I've heard that some things, you know, where I don't have a real good paint gun and I'm not good at it, you know, I guess somebody knows what they're doing can make that spot clear, that dries real quick, lay out good and flat. But you know, this overall clear just seemed to, just from what I can see of it. Now I won't really be able to tell till I do wet sand it and buff it, but it looks like it's got a lot less orange peel in it. It looks like it, you know, and I'm not saying it's better clear or anything like that. I'm just saying I think where it's an overall clear, you know, it flows out where it's slower drying. You know, it flows out a little bit more. So anyway, that's just my opinion on it. But it looks good. Like I said, I'll try to get you a little bit of it. Let's see, what else, guys? Had a great time today, guys. Really did. Had a good time in the Lord today. Had a good church service. Only had 14 of us there, I think, but still had a really good time. Really did. Had a good sermon. Just had a good spirit-filled time. Then we went this evening. I told you guys about we went to the Granny's house, we call her, you know, the kind of the church granny. We went to her house because she's not been able to come to church in months because she's been so sick. She's 90 years old, I think, or maybe, well, she's over 90, I think, maybe. Anyway, we all went to her house, and I don't know how many of us there was. Let me count a second. There was about 13 or 14 of us showed up. Just as many went up there as we did that showed up at church today. So kind of a different group, but still had a good time. Sung some songs, just praise the Lord. You know, I gave just a short little sermon there, just standing up in the middle of the room holding the Bible, and it tickled her to death. And really felt the Spirit, guys, really did. So, like I said last night, guys, some of the things that's been bothering me, I'm just going to lay them upon the Lord. I already have. Said, here, Lord, take them. You know, you've got to take them because I can't do it. You know, just like I said with the whole camper thing, needing to sell that Ram Charger. I got to trust the Lord that He can do it. You know. So, and like I mentioned last night, too, guys, I want y'all to pray for me because, you know, like I said, I'm going to try to raise this money for this parts deal, pre-selling some people some parts. I think I told you guys that. You know, letting them have stuff at cost. So just pray that turns out all right. Pray that, you know, I wish I could get enough pre-orders to do it. You know, I'd love to be able to do that without having to spend my own money. You know, even if I can get it. I don't have it now, but you know what I'm saying. You know, And like I said, any of you guys, if you know anybody that would trust me enough to, let me price it to them, let them have them at cost, and just go ahead and send me the money. And to be honest, it's not going to be worth doing for stuff that's like $50 or $100 even. But, somebody that's maybe going to buy, $500 or $600 worth of stuff, or 1,000, or, spend quite a bit of money, then I could really save them some money by letting them have it at dealer cost. So, like I said, they'll just have to wait on me. They just have to give me the money and trust me. If something happens, if the order falls through, I don't get enough money, I'll just send them their money back. But that's what I'm going to try to do. So, anyway, guys, just pray about that for me. Pray for everybody, like I said, pray for the church. Pray for our business this week, starting the week out. So, everybody pray for that, and pray that I can turn this brother's car out tomorrow and it'll look all right. The wing really does. It looks really good. It bothers me that I put those fingerprints in it, up under it, even though they're up under it and you'll never see them, because it does look that good. It's got, like I said, it's got a few little dust turds in it that will buff out if he lets me buff it. I may, he may have to have it so quick I can't buff it. He may have to bring it back in a week or two. And it's got one little tiny mosquito that landed in it. And luckily, though, it didn't track all over the place. It just stayed right there. And rather than pick it out and make a mess, I decided just to let it dry. And it's just barely down in there, just like its legs. The body's not. So I decided I'm just going to let it dry, and I'll just take a piece of 2000 grit or just something and just hit it real quick and kind of just knock its body out of there. If it leaves a little piece of the legs, you won't be able to see them. So anyway, guys, I guess that's enough jibber jabber for tonight. I was trying to think, make sure there wasn't nothing else I need to tell you all. Like I said, guys, usual stuff. Just keep praying for me. What else? Man, it just seemed like there's something that I was, thinking I'm going to tell them, and I just can't think of it. I don't know. Anyway, guys, as they don't say, just go if you can't remember it, or if you forget it, can't remember it, it must have been a lie anyway. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, guys, let's get to the important thing tonight. That is, of course, the Word of God. Now, one more thing, guys. Darren and some of you other guys, I've not got to watch. Oh, yeah, that was it too. Guys, I've been so busy today. Like I said, we had church. Got back from church. And I didn't know till today, one of the ladies that comes to our church a whole lot, her mom died yesterday. So we had our church shindig meeting deal at Granny's house at 6 o'clock. Well, they had her mom starting out at 5 o'clock at the funeral home. So, a bunch of us in the church said, well, we need to go, at least show up and, give her support, tell her we're thinking about her and praying for her before we head up there. So, anyway, I got home. By the time I eat dinner, it was 2 or 2:30, and just kind of laid around here for a couple hours. And then, like I said, I had to run to the funeral home. Then again, go to Granny's. Then I ran straight back home, and changed clothes, put these clothes on, started clear coating without any protective gear on. I had my mask on, my respirator, and as soon as I started clearing, guys, I could feel that clear coat start hitting my hairs. You painters will know this because I'm sure you've done it before. And you could just feel it tightening up on your hair, just feeling right odd. And as soon as it started doing that, I said, uh-oh, I'm going to have to go get something on. So I ran in here and put my paint suit on. I've got one of those 3M Tyvek suits. So I put that on. But anyway, guys, I've been at a steady go, wide open today. So I've not got to watch any videos. That's what I was trying to get at. Darren and some of you other guys that maybe made videos today, I've not got to see them. So maybe it may take me a day or so to catch up. But I will. So I think having said that, let's go to the important thing tonight, and that is, of course, the Word of God. So, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 1. Here we go. Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preached unto you, which also ye have received, and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if ye keep in memory what I preached unto you, unless ye have believed in vain. For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the Scriptures. He's just kind of going over, he's saying, that the first thing I brought unto you was the gospel of Jesus Christ. Verse 4, and that he was buried. He's just continuing on here describing that he was buried, and then he rose again the third day, according to the Scriptures. And that he was seen of Cephas, then of the 12. After that he was seen of about 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part remain unto this present, but some are fallen asleep. Paul is saying that after Jesus arose out of the grave, that's one thing, guys, that people always, that buffaloes me, that people say, oh, Jesus, it's a myth. And guys, it's documented. Jesus was a real person. It's documented. And it's documented that he was crucified, he died, they buried him, and after they buried him, they've got 500 people, witnesses, on top of his disciples. It says it right here again, about 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part. He's saying most of those are still alive, Paul is saying. But he said some have fallen asleep, some have died. So guys, right there is proof. I mean, they had it was historical fact. These 500 people, it would have been different. Maybe if it would have said Jesus, come back to life, but nobody seen him and he immediately rose up. There was hundreds and hundreds of people saw Jesus after he died. They saw him walking and talking again before he ascended into heaven. Just like I've talked about before, when Jesus died, when the earth shook and the sky got black, it got black as night in the middle of the day. There's historical facts that coincide. I mean, many different languages, different regions of the world where they recorded that, because it did it all over the world, that line up when Jesus was, crucified, saying, yes, it did get dark out in the middle of the day, the earth shook, and, guys, this stuff is historically documented if they'll just, use their brain and look it up. Anyway, verse 7, after that he was seen of James, then of all the apostles. And last of all, he was seen of me also, as of one born out of due time. Now, let's see. I like this in the Wesley commentary for this verse here. He says, an untimely birth. It was impossible to abase himself more than he does by this single appellation. As an abortion is not worthy the name of a man, so he affirms himself to be not worthy the name of an apostle. Paul is saying that of himself. For I am the least of the apostles, as we're saying here, that I am not meet to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. Paul said, I'm not deserving to be called an apostle, guys, because of what I've done. But by the grace of God, I am what I am. That's what I was going to say. We're not willing of anything that we have, anything that we are. We're not worthy and willing to, not willing. We're not worthy to be Christians, guys. We're not worthy to be saved. But verse 10 says it all right here. But by the grace of God, I am what I am. And his grace, which was bestowed upon me, was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all. Yes, not I, but the grace of God which was with me. Paul's saying, for what I did, I persecuted the church, and I didn't deserve this. But he's saying, God put this gift upon me. He made me an apostle. He made me, he let me be where I was supposed to be, to see what I was supposed to see, do what I was supposed to do, and now I'm working for him. And he's saying, just because his grace was bestowed upon me, he said, I didn't take this grace. A lot of people, guys, the Lord gives his grace to all of us. I truly believe he offers his salvation and his grace to everybody. But only a few will accept it. So, if you don't accept it, then that's his grace in vain. Paul's saying, I didn't want his grace to be in vain. He's saying, so I labored more abundantly than all the other. He's saying, I've worked harder than, he didn't care to say it because it was the truth. I've worked harder than all the other apostles because I felt like I had to, I needed to try to make up this, to try to make this up to God for what I did for when I was Saul and I persecuted the church. He's saying it was just by the grace of God which was with me. So anyway, guys, I know I've made a horribly long vid. we're going to stop there tonight. We'll start tomorrow night in verse 11, Lord willing. Like I said, guys, I hope this makes it to you. If any of you guys need anything, as always, let me know. Guys, just keep praying for me, like I said. Keep praying for my miracle. I'm really looking for this. You know, like I said, whether it's selling the camper, selling the Ram Charger, you know, I really, you know, I need this money, and I got to believe that the Lord's going to provide it. And if I don't have that solid faith, then He's not going to do it. So I've got to have that solid faith that some way the Lord will provide it. So you all just pray for me. And like I said, guys, pray for my aunt. Pray for both my aunts. Pray for my uncle. Just come through the heart surgery like I told you guys last night. He's doing better. Well, I think they had to clean an artery out or something. So he's back home and doing better. So keep praying for him. And pray for all of us, guys. I guess that's about it. So as usual, guys, good Lord willing, I'll see you all tomorrow night. And until I do see you again, good night. God bless.